As usual, I'm heading to Málaga airport for my flight to Zagreb. Security was quick, as always. Honestly, in the last 4 years living here, I've only seen long queues once. I usually count on just 5 minutes to get through, and that's rarely off. They are very efficient. Today, my gate is D66, located at the back of the terminal, but is just a short walk from security. Since I purchased the 10 kg carry-on option, I had priority boarding and stood in the separate queue, so it got me on the plane first. And here it is, our 18-year-old Airbus A320. But why does it say Lauda when it's a Ryanair flight? I will explain that in just a bit once we are on board.
Hola.
Hola.
This aircraft was first delivered to Brazil's TAM Airlines back in 2006, then flew for Lauda Motion starting in 2019. Unfortunately, I forgot to hit record during boarding. Typical. But it was fast and efficient. A flight attendant came over, asked for my seat number, and placed the bag in the overhead bin for me. A nice gesture, though probably more about keeping things moving, since Ryanair is famous for its rapid turnaround times, around 35 minutes in Málaga and even as little as 25 minutes in smaller airports. If you enjoy flight reviews like this one, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, it really helps the channel grow. My seat today was 30A at the very back. The legroom felt pretty similar, maybe even slightly better than on Ryanair's Boeing aircraft. Plus, there was a seat pocket, which, let's be honest, is a small luxury Ryanair normally doesn't offer. Inside was the safety card and the tray table was clean too. The seats were originally reclinable, but that feature's long been deactivated. A bit too luxurious for Ryanair, I guess. That said, for anyone over 185, the legroom will still feel tight. The seat fabric was a bit worn and the design felt retro, but overall the cabin was in decent condition.
Well, welcome aboard this Ryanair flight to Zagreb.
Before takeoff, please study the safety card located within the area you are seated, as it includes important safety information specific to this aircraft.
We took off 17 minutes behind schedule just before 8 p.m. After a seaside departure, we were already flying above the Sierra Nevada, just 12 minutes later, with a stunning view over mainland Spain's highest peak. Today's flight lasted 2 hours and 41 minutes, cruising at 34,000 feet. The name Lauda might sound familiar to many of you. Yes, it comes from Austrian Formula One racing champion Niki Lauda. But why does Ryanair use this name instead of just using Ryanair? Well, there is an interesting story behind it. Lauda was an Austrian airline founded by Niki Lauda in the 80s that merged into Austrian Airlines in 2013. In 2018, Niki Lauda made another attempt to revive Austrian aviation, so he founded Lauda Motion which is completely different from the old Lauda Air. By 2020, it was fully absorbed into Ryanair, but they still use their old Airbus A320 fleet. So while this plane says Lauda, it's basically just a Ryanair, but not a Boeing 737-200, but an Airbus A320. This fleet is much more older than Ryanair's Boeing fleet. Since Ryanair focuses on Boeing aircrafts, there are no plans to modernize or to replace these Airbus A320s. Once in the air, the crew began selling snacks and drinks, followed by the usual scratch cards and perfume selection. The cabin, to be honest, is a bit worn out, but it's not a surprise because it's an 18 years old plane. But at least it has a seat pocket, one thing that I really hate that Ryanair doesn't have. The legroom is the same, so there is not big of a difference. But I think just because of the seat pocket, I prefer Lauda than Ryanair. So I paid 20 euros for my ticket, which is a great price, and then I paid 30 euros for my baggage, which is a 10-kilogram cabin baggage that comes with priority and also with seat selection. So does it mean that my baggage is more valuable than I am? But yes, that's something typical with Ryanair, that the bag costs more than the actual ticket. The perfume cart made a second round, and this must have been the crew's lucky day. The Croatian lady in front of me bought something both times. Now, time for the loo review. A bit retro, as you can see, but clean, so no complaints. Cabin crew is super nice, super friendly. They help you with your luggage, open the toilet door for you, they are smiling. I think one of the friendliest that I traveled with ultimately. We began our descent into Zagreb's Franjo Tuđman Airport. It was a bit bumpy and windy, and the touchdown was definitely firm. But honestly, there was no need for the screaming. I've had much worse landings with Ryanair. Time to say goodbye to the lovely crew and disembark via the stairs, where a bus took us to the terminal.
Hasta luego. Hasta luego. Muchas gracias. Have a good night. Have a great night. Bye bye.
Zagreb Airport is quite new and feels modern, and at 10:30 p.m. it was almost completely empty. Very good job, Lauda, Ryanair.